Since Expedition 33 released, fans have noticed a pattern about the color of the flower petals prominently featured in-game. The theory states that each family member is represented by a color. Aline is white, Renoir is red, Clair is black, and Maëlle is gold. It's a fascinating theory to be sure, but what if I told you there's another thread to follow? If we change perspective toward the creations in the canvas, we come to a different theory. White makes sense thematically for Clair. It's often considered to represent perfection, order, and efficiency, and based on the journal of Renoir talking to Clair, we know that she's always striving for perfection. Throughout the game, we meet several Nevron who are able to communicate with us. All of them are Clair's creations, and most of them have a very pale white color. This could be attributed to the fact that they're unfinished Nevrons, but that's not the only example. There's also painted Clair. She looks like a copy of her, but with pale white skin and hair. We know that Clair painted over her as she was originally Aline's creation. Painted Clair also has some splotches of gold on her, which lead me to think that Aline is represented by gold, the paint splotches being the last remnants of her influence. And if we're saying Aline is gold, what else supports that? The first and biggest would be Sirène. Her primary color is gold. Her dress and her entire domain is majority gold. She is Renoir's metaphor for Aline, so that would be a connection. In addition to that, the monolith has heavy gold colors, especially around the area we fight painted Renoir. The second would be her name. In French, Aline means noble. In Greek, it could be tied to bright or shining, and in Germanic, it's linked to desired. All of these meanings could be applied to the color gold as well. Third, the color gold often represents divinity or holiness, which as far as the canvas is concerned, she would be a god. Renoir is still very much tied to red. Every time he uses his painter powers, he produces red petals. We see this when he erases painted Renoir with Maëlle's help, in his final boss fight when he initiates the fight, and when he leaves his canvas as well. And when we defeat the two Axons, both of which are his creations, they disperse into red petals. There's even a scene when Maëlle is speaking to Verso and Lumiere, where there's a tree with red and white petals above him. As Renoir approaches, the white petals shift to red. Even aside from the petals, the one location in game we know belongs to Renoir is his atelier in the manor. It has huge red curtains. Red is often linked to emotions like anger and aggression, which definitely can be tied to Renoir. It can also represent warmth, which Maëlle said he was. Maëlle is where this gets interesting. She has aspects of herself that tie to red, white, and gold. I believe this is meant to show how unsure Maëlle is of herself. She starts the game with fiery red hair that matches her personality early game. She also has many fire skills, which are generally represented by red. It's implied that Maëlle was Renoir's favorite child, which could mean her initial red represents her proximity to him. But when she finally regains her memories from beyond the canvas, she returns with a white shirt and hair. We know from a scene just before this that her hair is naturally red, but she chooses to make it white. For Maëlle, I think this represents her innocence, and even a new beginning for her. This is the first time since Verso's death that she truly feels resolved and unclouded. Shortly after this, we see her attempt to restore Ciel and Lune, who had been erased by Renoir. We initially see red petals coming from her as she's failing to restore them, but when Verso gives her guidance, we see the petals shift to gold and she's successful. From then on, her painter's powers show gold petals, with the one exception being when she erases painted Alicia. I think this shift symbolizes her alignment toward Aline in saving the canvas. If, like I said earlier, we assume gold is Aline's color, we can draw more connections. Maëlle's Axon Reacher has a large hat-like covering that's some kind of straw. It's not that far off of Sirène's gold. If we look at the area around the Reacher, we see lots of similarly colored scaffolding, and there are hints of red in the patchwork gliders and tents, and there are even large clouds that could represent white. If we go even deeper, both her names, Alicia and Maëlle, tie together the reference. Maëlle means princess, and Alicia has the same root as Aline, which we said means noble, both of which tie her to gold. So what do all these colors mean? Well, it's not just aesthetic, it's visual characterization. Anytime we see a color, it shows either a character's influence or their mental state. For Maëlle, it shows the state of her journey she's in. This adds a visual layer to each character and the canvas we journey through. If you noticed any other patterns I missed, drop them in the comments. And if you liked this video, leave a like and subscribe for those who come after.